All right, guys, we are on track. It's Wednesday. Pocket Change Market Report time, October 18, 2023. My goodness. Yeah, what in the world is this market doing? Uh, it's abnormally crazy seeing some of the bidding activity on some of these coins just from the last day or two. I mean, are the collectors really back? I think they are. After extended, kind of summer vacation, they're all back in force, guys. So if you're not out there looking for some of these coins, whether you're scouring through large amounts of change or doing some coin roll hunting activities, or maybe even, cherry picking the local coin show or coin shop, then you might be missing out a little bit because so there's just something going on right now. It must be in the water where the money's beginning to fly around, and it's pretty nice to see. All right, so yeah, we're gonna take a look at some of the more relevant errors and varieties, that type of thing that have sold here in the last day or two, all courtesy of eBay. We have approximately 24 pieces, individual lots that we're going to address. And you're going to be more than surprised about how, some of these coins that have been not only discovered, there are a few coins that I've never personally seen before on any market report, let alone falling on the same day. And the levels in which these sell at is incredible. It's good to see. It's stratospheric. There's a lot of different describing words to kind of use to help illustrate what's going on right now. So first of all, we're going to focus on the raw coins that aren't graded at all. And the big reason why grading costs a lot of money, whether you grade one coin or you grade 10, there's an amount of money that you have to cough up, not only for the grading submission fees, but also for shipping, for insurance. You got to send it out. Probably registered mail is your best bet in a lot of these cases. And at the end of the day, you're going to end up grading these really nice coins that may not make too much of a difference when you go to sell them, right? Because I think a lot of people leverage grading in association with future sales. And, sometimes a higher grade does not equate to more dollars. All right, so leave grading alone. Just go ahead and sell these coins. They will sell for themselves as long as they're correctly attributed or diagnosed as a specific error. Then you should have no problem commanding the full market for these pieces. And then number two, we're going to look at all of the original photos straight from the respective sellers' listings. We didn't juice or doctor any of the images to make our report look better. You're simply going to get the best and worst photos. The worst thing possible is you don't know what the bar is set to. All right, you're going to get that in full display here this week. So yeah, I'm ready to deliver this Pocket Change Market Report for the week. The midweek, that is. We still have our weekend edition coming up here shortly. How about a quick little whatnot update? This is our calendar of events for the week. We have this coming Friday, October 20th, 2023, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. We have the Name Your Price coin and currency auction. Feel free to bid up on all of your favorite coins and currency pieces. A lot of these will be starting at $1. We have some pretty nice premier graded examples too that might have a really good slot into your collection, or you may pick it up to invest in. The good news is, name your price, shoot me an offer. Let me know what you want to pay for the coin, and let's work on adding a piece to your collection at an affordable price. So looking forward to this new kind of unique format auction on the platform Whatnot. Another thing that I will add, I've also integrated a coupon that you could use for this Friday specifically. So when you go to check out, if your order total is over $25, you're going to save yourself some money with that coupon. So go ahead and, partake in that. It's always a good time. The platform is not only growing, but also the Blue Ridge Silverhound brand on Whatnot has been exploding as of late. I think people are, hooked on the hobby, and that's awesome. That's what I wanted to see. All right, so, let's go ahead and jump right into these listings. First one I haven't ever seen sold on a PCMR listed issue on eBay. This coin, I believe, probably comes up so infrequently that it's a true rarity. It's a 1955 Lincoln wheat cent. As you can see, it's not in a graded slab. That plastic tomb does not exist here on this one. It is a proof strike. All right, so you guys need to know about that. Now, the cost of owning a 1955 proof set is a little bit higher than a lot of other proof sets that you and I are used to. In order to buy one 55 proof set, okay, you're going to have to shell out between $70 and $80. Okay, that seems to be the average rate. Singular 1955 Lincoln proof sets typically command about $10, somewhere around there. It's very affordable. A lot of the other big denomination coins, pulls a lot of weight for the overall value of the proof set. So there is a really nice dual variety that you can find on this coin. And when you're cherry picking these at a shop or show, make sure you have your magnifier handy because you're going to want to look for this. Yes, that is indeed doubling. This is actually the FS 103 doubled die obverse. Now, the 103 indicates that there are two other doubled die obverses for the date. So there's a lot going on here with this one. Again, a singular coin can be affordable if you wanted to. But yeah, check out the doubling in not only Liberty, but the date itself. You can see the really easy splits there on every digit of the date. We also have the doubled die reverse, all in the same coin. This is the FS 802. So it's one of the few dual attributed FS listed coins in US coinage history. All right, which makes this one pretty gosh darn unique in itself. But check out E Pluribus Unum. I mean, you'll see the same level of doubling here as well. You see the doubled dots. That's really cool, very interesting. And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, this is a raw coin. I'd probably say this is the one singular coin out of the entire list that I would actually entertain grading. I'd probably send it to PCGS and pay up to wazoo to see where this one would land. And I would be certain that this one will also enhance in value because of the scarcity of the variety. So this coin right here sold for $228.90. Can you imagine cherry picking just a regular single 55 proof Lincoln wheat cent and you were able to find this variety on there? Oh my goodness, that's going to be a heck of a payday. So look out for this one. I know it's kind of a tall ask because 55 proof sets just don't grow on trees, and they never did. I'm not going to say like they used to because they never did. But when you do come across this one singular coin, always double check it. All right, the next coin that we have here, all right, is a relatively common date Buffalo nickel. Now, it says 1913. It's the first year of the Buffalo nickel. This one is the Type 1 reverse, which features the buffalo on a what they call raised mound design. It didn't have that flat line above the word 5 cents there. And this was usually to a detriment to the coin because that 5 cents wore down really quickly to the point where it disappears. But the big heavy selling feature of this coin has nothing to do with the fact that it is a Type 1, although it is a rather nice looking piece. It's got a slightly rotated die issue here. This is an error that pops up on occasion, especially on Buffalo nickels. This one is about 20 degrees counterclockwise rotation here, which is not supposed to happen. And what I like is that the seller used this kind of like grid line type feature behind the coin to help illustrate the rotational spread or whatever you want to call it. So this one right here sold for $42. 20 degrees is quite light on these because they show up on a lot of dates of Buffalo nickels. but it's worth noting that this is also kind of a collector grade piece as well. It's easily a solid VF 30, 35, if not higher, maybe XF 40 with that full horn on there. But just want to let you know that you can find rotation die errors on these Buffalo nickels, and they pop up more than you think. The next one that we have here is just a really nice coin, right? This is just the type coin of type coins for anyone that's looking for it. 1858 Flying Eagle cent. All right, this one featuring some pretty nice die clashes on the obverse. You can see it there on the top part of the wing and behind the wing as well. That's the big selling feature on this one. The seller did mention, which is Coins and Cards, they sell bangers beyond belief. But he also mentioned that there's a doubled die reverse. After looking at it up close, this one is actually strike doubling or machine doubling. All right, so it's not a legit hub doubled coin. This one right here, a really nice, I would say, about uncirculated coin. It might have been cleaned at one point. You see evidence of that on the reverse there, above the word 1. This one ended up selling for $416, and that's with 28 bits. Again, folks, it's a raw coin here, all right? So it does not necessarily mean you need to grade every coin. Because if you graded this and it comes back, details clean, AU or whatever, you might as well cut that price in half. All right, this might be a $200 coin, but this is a great for a typeset issue type coin, and I would be all about it if I were looking for this. The next one that we have here, not the prettiest looking coin. It's the 1941 linkage wheat cent. But this one has a really nice variety. It's one of the big ones of the 40s, and very easy to see regardless of the grade. This one right here, had seen a fair amount of wear and tear in circulation. This is the, I believe, FS101 doubled die obverse that's highlighted by some doubling in not only the date, pretty tough to see when the coin's not AU or higher. You can see doubling on Liberty, see the top of the B and E and R on there. You can see the doubled loops. And then In God We Trust, the motto, shows the strongest amount of doubling, bar none. So even a coin in this condition, folks, still sold for $64.65. It is one of the favorites out there among Lincoln cent variety enthusiasts. And again, I'm not going to say grade doesn't matter. Sometimes it does, but on this particular case, when a coin pops up so infrequently on the secondary market, people will pay up generously to own it. The next one that we have here, okay, it's not an Extra V Lincoln. Oh my goodness. Let's rejoice here. This 2023 Shield cent is on the list for a different reason. Now, it might stick out like a sore thumb. You guys probably already see it. But this is a pretty nice die crack that goes into Lincoln's jacket area, and it creates a pretty nice sizable die break. All right, so you get a considerable amount of thickness. You get different shapes and sizes to this this die break here. These are collected. There's a very small community of folks that want to. One of them, Matthew Valley, actually, who moderates and owns the Shield Cent Facebook page. He's an avid collector of things like this, and when a brand new one comes up into the marketplace, you best believe he's one of the first people to jump on it. This one right here sold for $11.11. So yeah, we got some age-old numbers happening in there for you with this sale. Pretty cool. It's not going to sell for enough money to pay your mortgage payment every month, but $11 is a whole heck of a lot more than face value. 1964 candy half dollar. Ladies and gentlemen, the Denver minted coins of the 64s, the 90% silvers, have a bevy of varieties to look for. There's DDOs, there's DDRs, there's some pretty nasty looking repunched mint marks. This one right here is the FS503. See the secondary Denver mint mark that's punched north and east of the primary here on this one. This is a very good one here. So always look out for this. A coin that traditionally you and I see as just base silver value, like what, $10. Well, this variety kicks it up a little bit, right? This one ended up selling for $79.95. Someone hit that buy it now button in order to own this coin, which, by the way, is in phenomenal shape, too. And here's one that I've never personally seen before in my life. I mean, we've had a few new ones on the list. 2013P, Jefferson nickel. Take a look at that cut die break over the word United on the reverse. Wow. You don't see too many cuts on Jefferson nickels, right? So this one took me aback a little bit. I'm not even sure if it's attributed on cutsoncoins.com. It could be, knowing how big this one is, and I'm sure a few of them have escaped the mint at one point. This one should be in there, but if not, that'd be the first place I go with this thing, is to get this one listed. This one right here ended up selling for $55.47. What do I tell you guys? Cuds are king in today's market. It's coins like this that help testify to that fact. The next one that we have here, another cool one from the same seller as the 55 proof Lincoln that we saw at the beginning of the show. 1936D. This is a very nice repunch mint mark, but it's one that's generally overlooked, and with good reason. This one right here shows a very faint, nearly separated Denver mint mark north of the primary, just under the 3 there in the date. This one probably a later die state, because that repunched mint mark had probably worn away a little bit through so many strikes. So this one right here is very scarce, very expensive. It's also a cherry picker's guide variety. It's FS501. It's one of the big ones of the 30s. And if you're able to find one that's as nice as this, anything mint state and full red is a huge coup for coins like this. This one sold, ladies and gentlemen, for $363.91. The seller of this coin and the 55, he's actually Brian Rybar, who is one of the main attributors of Jefferson nickel variety. So he's a man you could trust for things like this. And then when they do pop up, again, you better believe that there's going to be distinguished collectors that will pay any amount of money to own these, because they're that valuable and that rare to find. The next one that we have here, now we've seen this date before, 98P. I would say it's probably more a little bit of an uncentered broad strike. The picture is taken in the 2x2, which under normal circumstances, I would pull the coin out and just isolate that coin in the photography. It will look better and less glare. But it works here. We know what it is. Condition-wise, it's a nice, kind of like mid-level, mid-state grade, maybe like a 63, 64. This one right here is sold for $22.50, and that's with 10 bids. So not a rarity by any stretch as far as the error on the date. We've seen this quite a few times on a lot of the 1990s Washington quarters. Here's another one as well. This time it looks to be a 1984P. All right, this one is off-center. It's off-center by about 10%. You can see, for the most part, the top of all of the numbers there. You can make out that 8 pretty clearly because it's just a round circle and not, kind of like what the 9 looks like, which is more elongated with a bottom tail on it. This one right here, we've seen this date previously sold, some more spectacular than others. Thankfully, there's enough date there to read it. This one sold for $18 with 16 bids. Again, the condition is just fair. It looks like it's circulated a bit. Here's a rarity. This one, folks, we've seen on off-center strikes, 1969D, date-wise. This is a fully centered broad strike. And you just don't see that for a lot of these 60s dated Lincolns. So this one is quite the catch for sure. And, for a price of $4.25 with 5 bids, this was a hell of a catch. This one got away from a lot of people. If it were me personally, I would probably flip this coin for about $40-50 because it's that scarce. We don't see large centered broad strikes from the 60s that often. This one commands a lot more respect than it did. It was probably a sale that happened overnight. you know, especially at $4. This is a huge swing and a miss for a sale. Here's one of the old staples that still continue to, you know, provide a little bit of cash for its finders. 2021P, Washington crossing the Delaware. This one has the crown die chip right atop Washington's hat area there. Again, this is the more later advanced die chip or die break in this case. You know, it looks like a really nice looking Whopper Jr. on top of that hat. I'm not going to lie. But it goes into the design of E Pluribus Unum, which makes this one super relevant for error collectors. And this one sold for $25 with 2 bids. All right, so not completely down to zero yet. Still a fair amount of value, and this one is pretty well circulated. So that's what a circulated crown die chip 21 looks like. Yeah, more cut action. How about this 1970D? What an attractive looking coin. A very nice, kind of like, it's correct for a mid-state coin. The luster is not particularly strong, you know, which you don't see that much on these anyways. This one right here ended up selling for $48. So again, we're continuing on that tradition of cuds just being the standard bearer of strong sellers on eBay. And here's another one here that I personally like. 1970D Washington Quarter. This is the date to find on a coin struck on what they call dime thickness stock. All right, so when the mint had punched out these blank planchets out of the rolled strip, they used a strip that was intended for dimes and not quarters, so they're going to be a lot thinner. And they also weigh less, but you can see all of the general weakness in the strike on this one. That's a dead giveaway for this error here. This one weighs 4.22 grams, which is quite a bit underweight here. And yeah, if you stack this one along with a bunch of regular quarters, you can see the difference. This thing is really thin. So this one right here sold for $26. It was actually, I don't know, I think it was originally $25, and they had it as regular auction with a $25 floor on it, and someone just did one bid. All right, so this one was kind of a steal. I've seen these sell for $50 to $60 pretty regularly raw. Here you go. I mean, it's about time that, I mean, there was 2 of these that did sell. I just want to throw that out there, but this is the first of the 2 that came up on the list. 1988P Lincoln Memorial Cent. This is the reverse of 89. All right, so it's got the wide AM in America reverse, but graders call this one the flared FG or flared G variety now. So when they go to grade this, if you send it to a grader, me personally, I wouldn't do that. This will sell for itself, and the condition's not all there. This one, you can see that little extra serif at the bottom of the G right there that extends beyond the arc of the bottom of the G. That's what you're going to look for. And this one, the initials are hugged up closer to the memorial base too. This coin right here sold for $30. Not too bad considering its condition, which, you know, is not fantastic. As a collector type grade coin, people want to see, you know, probably mint state on these, and those things are wildly expensive. They're like $100, $200 on the best of days, while coins like this, the secondary circulated pieces, still desired and still a little bit pricey too. So this one looks like it came out of a wallet. It's a 57 silver certificate, mismatched serial number. Check out the first few digits of each serial number and you'll see what I mean. That second number, definitely different here on this. Pretty cool, and again, not the best looking note. And there was no reverse image to show you, which again, folks, I implore you, when you go to sell stuff, take pictures of all of the sides. If it's a box, take a picture of every side of the box. If it's a piece of currency, front and back will do. Because the back could be completely soiled. You know, it might actually look worse off than what it shows here. But in any event, this one sold for $310.13 with 9 total bids. These are always quite valuable. All right, we do have a few off-center struck Lincolns, all pretty nice dates too, and conditions are quite nice as well. 73D, this one's off-center by about 55-60%. This one sold for $32.85 with 12 bids. We also had this really pretty looking 68D as well. No problems here, no carbon spots. This one off-center by about the same amount as well, 55-60. And this one sold for $29.95 with 7 bids. And a 64D, probably the worst out of the three here. A few carbon spots and a little bit of oxidation and maybe just a slight hint of rub on the highest points of the devices. How about $25.35 with 20 bids on these? So you might come across these at a coin shop or show for cheap. I know I have over the years. I just bought a 1964 gem red for like $12 or something like that. So yeah, they do pop up and I see them on occasion. So when you do pick them up, if they're cheap, you know, 10, 15 bucks, you could easily 2x them, especially on some of these dates that we've seen pop up in the marketplace. Okay, so we have a trio, a little trifecta action of extra V Lincolns. All right, so the seller had a few spare handy. As you can see here, the coins are in pretty nice shape. They're probably very nice 65, 66 level coins. And as you guys know, Annex, NGC, and PCGS are grading these with the extra V attribution on the label. So keep that in mind. Sorry about that. Yeah, looking at both sides, all three coins look pretty nice. No argument here. And you're going to look for that extra little V anomaly there next to Victor David Brenner's initials. Okay, and that's going to be in that same spot every single time. There is some question of whether or not this is an ejection mark or something to that effect. So, you know, I think the investigation's over on these. Mike Diamond was the main go-to guy to kind of like, you know, put this to bed. And the trio of coins sold for $103.15. You know, so it's about 33 bucks. I also want to mention the same seller also has a PCGS graded Mid-State 67 example of this coin too, that he has for sale for like $800-900, which sounds right because it's the top pop for a PCGS slab. So there you go. You know, you could certainly get decent grades off these three coins if you wanted to, but keep in mind that the seller did cherry these and graded one at the highest level. Okay, well, here's something you don't normally see on any modern note. And the fact that this is a star note, wow. I mean, this thing is special. This is a 2013 $5 bill, from what we could see here. It looks like a gutter fold, albeit not the cleanest looking one. That's how they pitch it. But at the same time, this could also be a note where the magnetic strip was ripped out. You see the irregular edge to this gutter formation here. Again, you know, you got to be careful. This one is, it could be a gutter, but at the same time, it could be messed around with. And it looks very likely that it was probably messed around with. When we look at the back of the note, right where the gutter would be, close to like left center, normally you would see the fold, right? Because this is a wrinkle in the sheet. We don't see that on the back here. So this is more of a PSA, a little public service announcement that this one looks altered, unfortunately. And because of that, this one still sold for $64.50. I think the buyer, you know, might be a little bit let down here because, again, we don't see gutter folds on newer notes. And this one's tricky. You know, this one will fool a lot of people for sure. So make sure you take a close look. Fortunately, the photos were in good enough shape that you can make that determination on there. Here's a 1998 P Jefferson nickel. This one's off center by about 45%. And this one sold for $23.98. This is a date that we've seen a few times. Here's just a really nice high-grade specimen. And here, how about another steal, right? This is the infamous 2021 massive retained die break thing that we all love to see when we're going through change. You still find these. I'm not promising that they're going to be in tip-top shape. This one looks pretty good, and generally they still should sell for like $300-400 a piece. However, this one right here got away at $50. $50 sale, ladies and gentlemen. What in the world happened here? How come you guys were falling asleep here on this one? This is a true steal. If you guys know your market, you know that this one's a rip, right? You can buy this one, turn and flip it, and just crank it out of the park. Wow. Conversely, 1983 Lincoln Memorial set. What have I told you that this coin sold for more than the previous one? You guys think I'm nuts, right? Even with the staining and that little kind of like corrosion spot there at the bottom left of the Lincoln's bust. $74.82. 4 bids. I'm telling you, this market is zany right now. All right. People will skip over that retain code, which, by the way, was not correctly typed into the listing field. So, yeah, there was a lot of people asleep. It didn't show up on any search lists whatsoever. However, this one did, because they used the word "cud" on a Lincoln cent. Go figure. And you have to admire this kind of like collage type image that the seller created for this one. It's really cool, It's, it's like a 1990s style yearbook layout. I adore it. Separated planchet? What in the world? This has got to be a clamshell lamination. And it says keep. You damn right you keep things like this. If I find this in circulation, heads will roll. 1965 candy $half. I actually just sold one of these in a graded slab to a good friend Paula Bloom of the live coin Q&A. So it went to a great home. This one you can see the lamination issue here, where it's the silver clad layer had peeled away, because these are silver clad. They got a layer of copper in there too. Pretty cool. I mean, again, you don't need to grade these. They're easier to photograph outside of a graded holder. So this one sold for $43.98. All right, you guys ready for a few pieces of eye candy before I let you loose? Check these out. We have this 1945 mercury dime, broadstrike. Wow. What's also even crazy, it's a Philadelphia, and it's got full split bands. What you guys think about that? Can you imagine if this is the non-error with the full split bands and it was like a mid-state 63? This would be a $5,000 coin. It's probably still quite valuable, and it is. I mean, it's sold for a grip of money here in the last day or two. But I was more than a little surprised to see a well-struck 1945 mercury dime, which is one of the most difficult dates to find with full split bands. It's probably a top 3 rarity of the entire series. So it didn't sell for specifically the bands. It's a really nice high-grade coin. It is broadstrike, so it's an error. So it did sell for $400 with 26 bids. I would have been all about that price for this coin all day long. And it would go to PCGS ASAP. All right, coins and cards. Double downing on this next one. Boom! Talk about double downing. FS 101 double die Auvers 1955 Lincoln wheat set. Let this one just etch into your brains for the rest of the week, and know that crazy man-made mint errors are out there for the taking. Really cool coin. As you can see on this one, it's in great shape, and it's not in a graded holder. Yes. Thank you, Coins and Cards, for making eBay a fun place to kind of just hunt through, right? Because of things like this. What's really crazy about this particular image here is that, and it's something that most people don't think about, you can see the doubling on the nose, the lips, in the hair. You see all the hair detail and the texturing Everything is doubled crazily on this coin, along with Lincoln's jacket, his bow tie, his collar. Oh man, this coin is so wickedly cool. $2,000. That was your sale price on this. 42 total bids. So they did not let this one go cheap. I wouldn't expect it to. It is well within the market of a coin that normally would grade like AU58. All right, and we have one right here. Well, we've come to the end. Boy, what an awesome show this was. Videos for entertainment purposes only, not financial advice. I'm not telling you to go out there and stake your claim and just like let everything go to, to look for this stuff. Collect and grade responsibly. I'm also throw in cherry pick responsibly too. All right, don't overpay for stuff. Kind of tough this day and age. But yeah, that was very, very fun. So thank you guys for a great show. This is your midweek edition of the PCMR. Go out there, find your treasures, and best of luck. And I'll see you on the next video. You guys take care and have a great rest of the week.